Hi, Paul.
Welcome to San Francisco. Unpacked your bags yet?
Just about to.
Well, don't. Hop over to Virginia City, Nevada.
Wait a minute, Paul. I just got here.
Virginia City, the ghost town that's no longer a ghost over on the other side of Reno. Our man there's Jake Walton.
What's the problem?
The gold rush.
That was 100 years ago.
Well, there's a new one right now.
You're kidding.
And with all the same problems, including a couple of murders. So fly over there and see Jake Walton.
All right. Item 3, $50 deposit on a rental car. And with the afternoon sun at my back, I drove south and east to Virginia City. Virginia City, colorful, fabulous monument to the rip-roaring days of the famous Comstock Lode, when a man's life all too often depended on how fast he could draw, on how well he could defend a rocky piece of desert land that he hoped would stretch out a vein worth millions of dollars in gold-bearing quartz or the heavy blue mud that was rich in silver. A lot of the old landmarks are still there for the tourist trade. Piper's Opera House. You pick up a key at the Bucket of Blood Saloon. The Crystal Bar. The territorial enterprise that carried the writings of Mark Twain. The gambling halls where instead of money on the tables, it was gold dust and nuggets. And on dark nights, I've been told, you can see the ghosts of the Bonanza Kings pacing the streets. Fair, Flood, and O'Brien. Mills, Gould, and McKay. A grizzled old character sitting on a rocker in front of the Bucket of Blood didn't even look up when I asked him directions.
Well, son, Jake Walton's office is right there across the street, other side of the newspaper.
Hmm? Oh, yes, I see it now. Thank you very much.
But he ain't there.
Oh, I see. You don't happen to know where I can find him, do you?
Oh, I know where he is, all right, but I wouldn't go there, son. Not if I was you.
Why not?
Well, him and the sheriff, they're out to the Scarlet Queen. That's a gold mine.
The Scarlet Queen?
Yeah, about halfway up 6 Mile Canyon over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no wagon track up to the pass.
Can I navigate that wagon road in my car?
That's a pretty new car you got there. Real pretty. No, sir. Take a horse or a burro unless you got four-wheel drive.
Where can I get a hold of a horse?
Jake Blakely's stable down the end of the street. But don't you go to that mine.
Why not?
Well, there's been another killing out there, like there's going to be more of them. More dynamite accidents. Like the one that done this to me.
Did what to you?
Huh. Didn't notice, eh? I'm blind.
At Judd Blakely's stable, after a lot of argument that I should stay away from the Scarlet Queen, I finally got hold of a horse by forking over a $200 deposit. Then I headed up into 6 Mile Canyon. A couple of miles later, I found the old wagon road to the mine. It was crooked and steep, and there was a narrow pass to go through at the top. But from the pass, when I let the horse stop there for a breather, I could see the mine below me. There were 2 or 3 weather-beaten shacks right next to a platform with tracks on it that led into a hole in the sheer face of a cliff. A couple of jeeps and a beat-up old high-wheeled truck stood in front of the line of shacks. And a group of men were hauling a body out of an ore car to load it onto a truck. Whoops. I got off the horse and over behind a big boulder and nothing flat. Gunshot and come from my left, and were still coming, and from someplace and somebody I couldn't see. At the next one, the horse took off. I felt a little alone and a little helpless at that moment. It's the understatement of the week. With a twig in mesquite, I raised my hat above the protection of the boulder, hoping to draw another shot to get a better idea where to start shooting myself. Nothing happened. Slowly, cautiously, then I worked around to the far edge of the boulder and carefully looked around the edge of it. Holy, that was in back of me.
Don't move, stranger.
What?
You swing that gun of yours around this way and you're going to be real dead.
Well...
Mister, you dropped that little lemon squeezer you got in your hand. Then up on your feet and turn around and face that rock.
All right. Why not?
Go on. Turn around. Face up to that rock with your feet apart. You put your hands up on it.
You have the gun.
Higher. Get those hands up higher. You make one move, I pull this trigger.
You're the boss.
You're darn right I am. Okay, Jake.
Jake?
Looks like you got him, Leona.
That's a city man. Told you it wasn't nobody from around the Comstock.
Looks like you're right, Leona, huh?
So watch him, Jake, huh? Real careful. He may be a tricky one.
You got a good point there, Leona. So's just to make sure he don't try any tricks.
When you have to stay alert, don't let drowsiness slow you down. Perk up. Perk up with No Dose. The safe way to stay alert without harmful stimulants. Remember, when you're driving, working, studying, and monotony makes you feel drowsy. Perk up. Perk up with No Dose. No Dose.
I saw Jake start to throw that punch, and when you know it's coming in from where you roll, the punch and I rolled, and I turned and took him with me, and together we rolled on the ground. I grabbed for the legs of the girl, and she came with me. Then I managed to grab her wrist, a handful of blonde hair, with the man's head under my arm, with all the pressure I could put on it.
No, stop. I give up.
Please, mister. Okay.
Please, I give up.
Me too.
Okay. All right, now, I've got the rifle.
Now, don't worry, mister. Don't worry.
And you got a lot of muscle for a city man.
You now.
Yes, sir.
Pick up that handgun of mine by the barrel with your fingers and bring it over here.
Yeah,
Like it says, Jake.
Yeah, okay.
By the barrel now, and be careful.
Here on, mister. Here.
Jake, huh?
Yes, sir. Jake Walton.
What?
And this here is Miss...
Jake Walton of Greater Southwest Insurance?
Yes, sir. Me and Miss Leona, we was only up here account of this last accident of the mine.
Oh, no.
And when we see you prowling around up here, huh?
You mind telling us what you think is so gall-darn funny?
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. Look, my name is Johnny Dollar.
Dollar? Well, Leona, listen. Dollar here's the man I've been waiting for.
I don't care what... Oh, he is?
I must say, you certainly gave me a nice reception.
Well, we didn't know. We thought you were the ones been making all this trouble up here.
Oh, you did, hmm?
Yeah, it's a fact, Johnny. And listen, this one today makes the second killing there at the mine. Somebody's using dynamite at the wrong place and the wrong time.
And, Johnny, it was one of those blasts that blew my Uncle Dave out of the shaft, and he's blind now on account of it.
The blind man that I met in Virginia City in front of the bucket of blood?
Yes, sir, Johnny. Dave Halver.
That's what brought me here, Johnny, from off my dad's ranch to see if I could help him and help find out who's doing all of this. And when Jake and I heard the shots up here, who were you shooting at, Johnny?
Oh, just a couple of rattlesnakes I saw.
This time of year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to think I almost aimed the rifle at your head because of what I thought you were.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, so am I, Johnny. This gal can shoot the eye out of a gnat. Would have killed you, sure. And I guess nobody would have blamed her much either. Knowing what's been going on and not realizing who you were, I was hoping she would hit you.
That would have been terrible.
It sure would.
Now, tell me just exactly what's been going on around here, Jake.
Yeah, well, look, I see the sheriff's leaving with Jerry's body now. So let's go down there to the mine, and I'll show you.
All right, let's go. The Scarlet Queen, named after a shady lady of the 60s, the 1860s, was a small but very old mine away from the main body of the Comstock lode, but once considered a fairly profitable maverick offshoot of it.
Now, watch your step, Johnny. There's a big vertical hole along here, and if you ever fell into it... See it there?
Yes, I see it, Jake. Just keep that lamp of yours on the ceiling and we'll be okay.
Johnny, you want to kind of give me a hand?
Sure, be glad to. Here you are.
I'm still not exactly used to being around inside of these mines.
They never did have any business opening up this one again.
Oh, why not, Jake?
It never will pay off.
Well, Uncle Dave thinks it will, and he ought to know on account of it really ought to belong to him.
Should it, Leona?
Sure, if that crooked lawyer hadn't fixed it so now it belongs to Ski Lambert.
Well, I'm not So sure that lawyer wasn't right,
So
Leona.
Uncle Dave ends up working for him till that dynamite hits him down here and blinds him.
Yeah, well, maybe it was like the New York Keystone mine, the other side of town, that started this latest gold rush now.
How do you mean?
The original shaft was sunk back in 70 by some fellas who didn't even own the property. So all the owners had to do was wait until the shaft was finished, then take over. Oh, easy now. Now we go down this ladder to the second level. You make it all right, Miss Leona?
Sure I can. You two go on ahead.
All right, now. What started this new gold rush, Jake?
Oh, talk about maybe the government raising the price of gold, I guess. A lot of the old mines may be opened up again. At least them as can mill out $30, $40 a ton or more.
I see.
Now, the last couple of rungs are missing now, so watch your step.
I'm okay. I'm on solid ground again.
Yeah, I sure be glad when you get the elevator working again in this darned old...
What's it?
Well, what's the matter?
Oh, thank
Wow.
goodness you were here to catch me, Johnny.
Oh, anytime, Leona.
I'm afraid I'm too heavy for you.
You sure you didn't do that on purpose?
If I had, would you mind?
I was hoping you had.
Oh, now set her down, Johnny, and let's get on with this.
Would you mind your own business, Jake Walton?
There on the second level, Jake led us to a spot in the tunnel that was completely shored in with 12 by 12s.
Where an old side passage give way.
There's no rubble on the floor of the tunnel there. It looked as though it had been literally blown away, and the acrid smell of dynamite still lingered in the air.
Yeah, a man would be in here working on these ties, Johnny, where they're going to lay track for some ore car.
Yeah?
And then all of a sudden, a stick of dynamite would go off. Right here, where it had no business.
First one of them killed Harry Beller, another one blinded Uncle Dave.
And then just before you come, young Jerry Lambert, the nephew of the owner,
Let me have that lamp a minute, Jake.
Oh, sure.
Something here I want to...
Oh, that gang it busted.
Yeah, all right, that's that.
But can we find our way out of here now without a light?
Sure we can.
Jake?
Sure we can, Miss Leona, but,
Yes?
We better be mighty careful about that hole we have to skirt around up in the tunnel above.
Sure, Johnny. This road back to Virginia